Yo, what's going on, my fellas? It's your boy DyeItTight here, bringing you guys another Tier List Tuesday. We got Tier List Tuesday coming your way. This week, we've got the Poison type, one of the most toxic types around. It has some of the cooler designed Pokemon, and you usually always need a Poison type on your team. So, super excited. Before we begin, though, make sure to like and subscribe, and check out the Discord. Keep the conversation going about what your favorite Poison type is, or comment it down below. Also, before we begin, to set a couple ground rules, this is for Draft League only, and no Terra allowed. The reason I don't allow Terra is because then if Beedrill is really great because it can Terra into a Steel Pokemon, it's not a good Poison type. So, let us begin. So we're going to start off with Venusaur, and I think I'm going to put him in C tier. It is a Sun Abuser. It is kind of bulky. Leech Seed is nice. It'll go there. After that, we've got Mega Venusaur, who is going to go in B tier for its supreme bulk. It is super nice, super bulky. I miss using this thing. There's a couple Pokemon I'm looking at that I'm like, dang, I wish I could use them again. Like, there's a couple of them that I miss old gen Muck where it was 50% berry, but alas. After that, we've got Beedrill, who is going to go in F tier. This thing is basically unusable. It's not great. But then we've got Mega Beedrill, who I am going to put in C tier. I'd probably put it above Venusaur. It's super fast. It does hit super hard. Nothing often wants to take a adaptability U-turn. You do have things like steel types, but then you can knock off its items, so it comes in. If it's like boots, it takes hazards, or you can drill run it. So after that, we have Arbok, who I am going to put in D tier. Trying to find a level for how good these poison types are. And the reason I'm putting it in D tier is because of Intimidate and Glare. It's a nice utility Pokemon if you really need one. Speaking of Pokemon I really miss, the Nidos I miss like crazy. Everybody used to just slotted on a Nidoqueen or a Nidoking on your team and it just always fit. That being said, Nidoqueen I'm going to put both of them in B tier. I think I like Nidoqueen better. I like the defensive utility better. Nidoking, they do two different things. Nidoking is way more offensive, hits way harder. Nidoqueen is way more defensive. I think if they came in the new gens, they would have gotten spikes, which would have been really cool. So, after that, we've got Boldgat. We've got Goldbat. I'm going to put an F tier, but I am going to put above Beedrill. At the end of the day, you have an Eviolite flying type. It is very bulky with Eviolite. It's not the bulkiest in the world. When I say very bulky, it's still an F tier Pokemon, but it's not that bad. Then we've got Vileplume, which I am going to put in D tier above Arbok. It's a Strength Sapper. It can click Stun Spore, Sleep Powder. Effect Spore is really annoying. It can hold its own. A lot of these poison Pokemon are just at the very least defensive. So, that being said, Venomoth is going in F tier. It's not great. It's not very good. Neither is Victory Bell. I'm probably taking Golbat over it. They're just Venomoth is fine. Tinted Lens is cool with Quiver Dance. You're never bringing it. Victory Bell, I think is unbringable. After that, we do have Tentacruel, which I am going to put above Mega Beedrill, only because of its utility. Rapid Spin is nice. Mirror Coat is cool on certain sets. Like, no one expects it, and you go hit it with a Psychic, and you then lose your Pokemon. Next up, we've got G-Bro, which I'm taking above Mega Binu. It can go in C tier. Shell's Sidearm is cool. I think its ability Quick Draw, if I'm quoting it or if I'm calling it correctly. Every once in a while, you just get a Quick Claw boost, which is cool. You usually run Regenerator, which is its other better ability, which makes it defensive. A better defensive Pokemon, but I like Galarian Slowbro. After that, we've got the Mucks. I'm going to put Muck regular above Arbok. It is still a great defensive Pokemon. It is fine. I like Vileplume better because of Strength Sap and like Sleep Powder and stuff like that. Galarian Muck. Alola Muck, I'm probably taking over. Yeah, the Dark typing is really good. The Poison Touch is nice. You can run Gluttony, which the sets are not good anymore. The 33% nerf, where it's now 33% for like an Iapapa Berry versus a 50% in gens prior, does really suck. This thing would be probably in B tier. This thing used to be an unstoppable threat. But after that, we have Haunter, which I'm going to put in F tier, but I'm going to put it at the top of F tier. This thing is kind of really strong, and you don't expect it to be. This thing hits very hard if you're not prepared for it. So we're going to put Haunter there. Its speed tier, I think, is 95, which isn't the worst in the world. It can outspeed some lower tier threats. So After that, we got Gengar, who is going up in A tier. It's fast, it's strong, Will-O-Wisp, Destiny Bond. I know it's fallen off. It's one of the OGs. It's definitely fallen off a lot, but I still think it's got some use. And of course, I think we have potentially the best Pokemon here. We do have Mega Gengar. The ability to trap is crazy. This thing just being able to come in and trap things however it wants really sets up the rest of the team. Mega Gengar, and it's super strong. I think it's base 120 speed. Probably like base 135 special attack. So shout out to Mega Gengar. After that, we do have Weezing, regular. I'm probably putting in D tier. I'm taking it above all of these guys. It has two really cool abilities. Same with Galarian Weezing, which I'm going to put Galarian Weezing in C tier above Venusaur. Probably above G-Bro. Over Muck. I'm probably putting it over Muck. So let me finish with Weezing. So Levitate is nice. Neutralizing Gas means that like it can always block an ability, which is cool. And you never know what to expect. If you don't need to run Levitate, you can just run Neutralizing Gas and be one of the most annoying. G-Weezing has some of the best ability combinations. It's not like top S tier, but it is really good, where you have Neutralizing Gas, where you can stop an ability. You have Levitate, so you can be immune to grounds, and you have Misty Terrain, which is not the best ability in the world, but imagine being able to facilitate where now you don't have to worry about your sweeper getting paralyzed or burned or toxic. It's crazy. Yeah, the Fairy Typing is also really nice for it. After that, we've got Ariados, which go down there. I think he gets webs, so it won't be the absolute worst. But speaking of Pokemon, I miss a lot. I miss Crobat like crazy. This thing's going above Tentacruel. It's crazy. It's fast. It can Nasty Plot. It gets U-turn. Yeah, I used to love Crobat. I used to always slot it on as just a fast Pokemon. After that, we got G-King. Definitely going above Gengar. One of the best Pokemon in standard Gen 9 Wi-Fi draft right now. It's just so bulky. It can usually take on one thing. Like, obviously, it can't always take on Darks or Grounds or Ghosts, but basically anything else it can be built to check. And even then, it can still take on some of the Darks or Grounds or whatever you need them to. After that, we've got the Quillfish brothers, which I'm going to put Quillfish, Hisui in C. I like its Intimidate a lot. I like its Spikes. The Dark typing is really nice. I'm going to put regular Quillfish at the top of D. It also gets Spikes. I just like the Dark typing way better than the Water typing. I also think with Eviolite, Quillfish Hisui is way better. It does then lose an item, whereas like regular Quillfish can free up an item, but I still like Hisui and Quillfish more. Between that, we got Hisui and Sneasel. I added it because like I know people have drafted it. It's pretty bad. It's going down there. It's not great. That being said, also not great. Dustox is going to the bottom. It is not a good Pokemon, sadly. Unfortunate for Dustox. Then we've got Roselia, which I am going to put an F, but I'm going to put a little higher up. Eviolite's nice for its bulk. It does get Spikes, which just makes it utility. The goal is you want to get something out of your poison types, and you want to make sure you're taking advantage of every turn, because you have things like Steel types that can switch in for free on a poison move. So anything that can take advantage of a turn, like a Spike, is really nice. Next up, we have Swalot, which is so bad. It can go like there. It's defensive. Then we've got Seviper, which is also going to the bottom. Not good. Then we have Roserade, who I am going to put in B tier. I do miss Roserade. I never used it a lot, but anytime I did, it was nice. The Sleep Powder, the Fast Technicians, that was when it had hidden power, though. Yeah, it can stay in B. It's not that bad. Then we've got Skuntank, which I like Hisui and Quillfish better. I'll put here. No, I'll put below Muck. I think I'm taking Muck over Skuntank. So D-Ray used Skuntank really well in BBL. In a league with Ubers, I think this was his kill leader versus like Kieran White. And whatever Terra Pokemon he had, I can't remember. But yeah, Skuntank is not bad. It's not a terrible Pokemon. But back to Pokemon I miss. Drapion is cool. It's just better Skuntank. I am taking it over Hisui and Quillfish. The random sniper sets do go kind of crazy. You're never really running it, but I do like the ability to do it. It is more offensive. It is faster. It's not bad. Then we've got Toxicroak, who is pretty terrible, but is offensive. So we're gonna put him in C tier because it's one of those things. It's one of those Pokemon that like will always be like 8 points, because if you did it for, it's probably 7, 8 points, because if you did it for like 3 or 4 points, you're just getting a steal. Next up, we have Scolipede, who I am pretty high on. I'm going to put him above Roserade. The spikes is really nice. The speed boost in leagues where baton pass is allowed. It's pretty cool. Next up, we've got Garbodor, which I'm going to put at the bottom of D. It's fine. It's nothing great. Then we have Amoonguss. Should probably take above. No, I'd take Roserade above. Would I take Crobat? Maybe I'll move down. Yeah, I'll put it there. This thing is I'll move one. No, I'm probably. The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm like, I'd probably take these Pokemon over it. I'll do that. I'd probably take it over. No, I still like Hisuian Quillfish. I'd take it over Toxicroak. Defensive Pokemon. Rocky Helmet is annoying. You can spore things. It's an Amoonguss. We've got Dragalge. Not fantastical, but definitely deserves its flowers. You can go there. It hits like a bus. Adaptability is crazy for it. That is always slept on. If you're just like Rocky Helmet Draco, you can usually take down a physical attacker. Toxapex is up, and this thing used to be the king of Gen 7 draft. Now it's lost a lot of its merit. It is nowhere near as good as what it was. Still taking it above Hisuian Quillfish, though. Regenerator's nice for it. It does get Recover. It gets Toxic Spikes. Next up, we've got Salazzle. Perfect C-tier Pokemon. Toxic Sub Protect Stall is still undefeated. It is just sneaky good. You have to prep for it every time. It forces prep. That's all I ask for. Then we've got Nihilego, which I'm going to put above Nidoking, but under Nidoqueen. I think it does offense better than Nidoking, but it does defense worse than Nidoqueen. Being able to boost up on something with Beast Boost is crazy. You could just go like Specs Power Gem and just keep clicking it until the cows come home. It doesn't have the ability to hit ground types or steel types, which is unfortunate, but if you can get it snowballing, it doesn't matter. After that, we've got Naganadel, which I am going to put under Mega Gengar. Beast Boost goes crazy for it. Is this thing better than Mega Gengar? This thing's probably better than Mega Gengar. It's so fast, and it just gets a +1 boost every time it kills something. You can Nasty Plot on a free turn. This thing's so good. I'm going to leave Naganadel up there. After that, we've got Toxtricity. Someone who was really good at the start of Gen 8. Kind of started to fall off. Where do I put Toxtricity? I'm taking it over Amoonguss, so I'll put it there. I'm taking it over these guys. It's still offensive. It still hits hard. I'll put it over... I take it over Venu. We'll leave it there. It's offensive. That's fine. Next up, we have Eturn, which I am going to make the #1 Pokemon right now. In Draft League, this thing is stupid. It is so bulky. This thing does not die. It has the ability to set up. It's disgusting. The Eturn is easily the best Pokemon. After that, we have Sneasler, which I am going to also put in A tier. It is, I think, better than G-King. No, I'm going to put G-King still above it, but it is better than Gengar. Reason behind it being so good is because Dire Claw makes it nice, but Covert Claw can shut down a lot of things. You can beat Sneasler pretty easily. Not pretty easily, because it is still excuse me. It is still an A-tier Pokemon, so you do got to give it its flowers, but you can still beat this Pokemon. Slowking is just hard to kill in the... So, next we've got Overquill, which I'm going to put in B tier. I'd take it over Roserade. Probably take it over Scolipede just because of the spikes. The Intimidate is nice. It does get Swords Dance. Yeah. Grafai is a D tier Pokemon. I am taking over Skuntank, I guess. Prankster's cool. Reverum with Terra is fantastic. Without Terra, we're looking kind of shiced. I guess I'd take it over Muck. After that, we got Glamora, which is going in B tier. It's just where do I want to put it? I'll put it over Roserade. It kind of does Roserade-esque things. When it gets hit by a physical move, it sets up a T-Spike artificially. So if you lead off against a physical Pokemon in your Sash, you can get up if you're faster, you can get up a Rock, a Spike, and 2 T-Spikes immediately. First 2 turns. You can't ask for much more. After that, we've got Clodsire, who's not very good. You can go above Toxicroak. Then we've got Iron Moth, who is terrible. Objectively so bad. This Pokemon is, like, I truly think that this Pokemon is worthless. I don't think it's very good. That being said, it does have more merit than some of these Pokemon. I stand by I'd take Salazzle over it. I think I would take Iron Moth over Reverum. It's going to go down there. I don't see the value it provides to any teams. With Terra, different conversation. I cannot stress that enough. Still not the best Pokemon in the world, but with Terra, it is usable. It's like King Gambit for me. Or, yeah, it's like King Gambit. I think King Gambit's one of the best Terra Pokemon. Without Terra, it is so bad. It doesn't do anything. After that, we've got Okidogi. Defensive Pokemon. It can go in. It's a nice C tier. I think all of these guys are C tier, except one. Put you here. That's fine. Okidogi. Then we got Monkey Dory, which is fast and offensive. It can go up there. Then we got Pheasantipity. I'm taking it over Geweeze. So there's that. And our final Pokemon is Pekarunt. I think Pekarunt's one of the best Pokemon that's here. It's really good. It's really bulky. It can take on a lot of things. Malignant Chain is super annoying. You got to run Covert Cloak for it. Which again, same like Sneasler, you can run Covert Cloak and shut it down, but it's still really good, and you still have to give it its flowers. I have to run Canasty Plot. Yeah. And here's the tier list, guys. Make sure you guys comment down below what you guys would have changed, what you guys disagree with, and what you guys want to see next. See you guys next time. Peace.